Halloween is a time where ghosts, witches and monsters go out to play. And it's a time when children dress up as them and go trick-or-treating, so you never know if a monster is among them. However, there are not only monsters who play pretend, there are also those who go out and scare people. So you either get scared by them or they are secretly joining you. Now, in this special, there is Casper who wants to celebrate Halloween by trick-or-treating, like the kids, and his friends by going out and scaring people. Both have their own definitions of fun, so neither of them is right or wrong. However, this special is called Casper's Halloween special, so his friends are the bad guys and their way is wrong. That's why we're going to look at Halloween the way Casper has fun. Now, obviously everybody knows who Casper the friendly ghost is, but let me introduce you to his friends. First we have Harry Scary, the 1,000-year-old ghost, and the leader of the scare troop. Then there's Winifred the witch, and her best friend, the nameless cat. And last but not least, Screech the ghost. Now, both of them will try to have fun, one being more successful than the other, for a while, and someone who won the whole night. And it's not the one who you think it is. Okay, now, the story begins with Casper at home and how he wants to go trick-or-treating, like a real boy. And because it's Halloween, he can do just that. He just puts on a costume and blends in, and none will be the wiser. But he's not alone at home. His friends are also readying themselves to go out on the biggest night of the year. And just as Winifred and company are ready to go out into the night, Harry Scary stops them. Because they can't go before they hype themselves up with a fright song for Halloween. It is a fun song, so I get it. And who else to lead on the song but Harry Scary himself? And while they sing their song, Casper went somewhere. Because he heard them talking, and just as he wanted to join them, he heard Harry Scary talking about the fright song. And because he didn't want to get himself also hyped up to go out and scare people, he just left. Only momentarily, of course, because he still needs to talk to them. And just as they finished their song, Casper returns home. And now, for the first time in this special, Casper and friends clash. Casper sees Halloween as the one time in the year where kids dress up in costumes, go out and have a good time. But for the scare troop, Halloween is their night, and a fun time for them means going out and scaring people. Because for them, getting scared is a part of Halloween. But Casper is not going to let them do it. Couldn't stop them though. Not with words or floating in their way. At the window? I mean, they're ghosts. They don't need to go through the window to leave the house. Silly Casper. Now, after he saves himself, he finally goes out trick-or-treating. But he's not the only one, because now come the kids Casper was talking about. Not them specifically, but they'll do. And the best part, they're orphans. And Casper helping orphans is always a given. His kindness knows no bounds. And it drills even more the point home that the scare troop are the bad guys. I mean, taking Halloween away from orphans, have they no shame? Let me introduce the kids. Dirk, Loella, JR, Gervais, and Carmelita. Now, the kids live in a rundown orphanage in the city. So sadly, Mr. Duncan had no fancy costumes for them. But they don't mind, because you'll see that they're going to get creative with the mask and bags. And coincidentally, they have the same costume as Casper, a mask and headwear. Same, but different. Because, like I said, they got creative, and every costume is somewhat different. Imagination knows no bounds. And they also have a fun Halloween song. But theirs is about dressing up and going trick-or-treating. And while they are having fun and hyping themselves up for trick-or-treating, someone's watching. But don't worry, they are safe from the shenanigans. For now. Because first they're having Casper help them scare people. Which he's obviously not amused by. They just want to show him what Halloween is really about. You know, scaring people and playing tricks on them. But Casper is just not about that life, you know. He doesn't want to scare people, and he'd rather get a treat than play a trick on them. So yeah, it's not looking good for Casper at the moment. But what about the kids? How is it looking for them? Well, the kids who live in the city went trick-or-treating in a suburban place. Now, they had a lot of apartments and houses they could have gone to, like the ones in the Halloween song. But no, they decided that rich people have the best treats. The first house has a butler, who doesn't want to give them candy, because he says that they are not from his neighborhood and should just try closer to home. And he then just closes the door on them. Rude. And the next one, the people living there, just left in the middle of Halloween. Probably just waited for all the neighborhood kids to come for treats. And because they are not from that neighborhood, they didn't know that somebody else is coming. However, them being in this neighborhood means that they met Casper, and with him is sadly also the scare troop. But how did they all meet? Well, because of the scare troop, Casper's next attempt at trick-or-treating didn't bear any fruit or candy. And Casper had enough of the scare troop scaring people, so he decided to just go home and not help them scare anybody anymore. And as luck would have it, he met the kids, who were encouraging him to carry on and invited him to trick-or-treat with them, which the scare troop saw, and they're not going to stand for Casper to make a fool out of them. They are going to show him the true meaning of Halloween. But don't worry, Casper and the kids are going to work together. He's going to stop the scare troop from interfering, while the kids trick-or-treat, and then they are going to share the candy together. That was the plan, at least. Casper did try to stop them, with words again. Tried even being tough on them.
Wanna bother them, you'll have to do it over my dead body.
Didn't help. And while he was hung out to dry, for the first time this night, the scare troop got the kids in trouble. The lady was really angry. I understand her anger, for it would be really rude to just take all the candy and not leave anything for the others. And then obviously the bedsheet over her head was the last straw for her. They could have explained what happened, because she is an understanding woman. You'll see later why. Like in this moment when she took the candy back. You see her just standing there, like she's waiting for an explanation. But when the bedsheet fell on her, it was all over. And an angry call was made, which was the worst angry on the other line bit that I ever did see. But also, how did she know who to call? Because if she would have known the kids, she knew they are not like that at all. Throughout the night, they have shown to be nice, polite and caring kids. But now we come to a house that will change their whole night. Obviously also at this house, the scare troop is going to cause chaos. Well, they're going to try at least, because before that happens, Casper's going to stop them, you know. But first he went back for his costume, because when he stops the scare troop, he's just going to join the kids, and for that he had to be prepared, you know. With that he's ready, and now he just has to find them, and then they will be stopped. Yeah, but no. They caught him again. And now they'll show him that with them having fun is a given.
You pretty kid! Stick around us and you'll have a good time in spite of yourself!
However, this time the scare troop did one of the worst things they did all night. I mean, scaring people and playing little tricks on them is all fine and good, but here they literally went too far. I mean, yes, Dirk shouldn't have ran into the house while the dog was chasing him. But I mean, he obviously panicked and he was facing forward. So, you know, that was a given that he ran into the house. And just like that, the whole house, downstairs at least, is a mess. And she was just complimenting them how nice they are and all.
What nice children.
And they finally got some candy.
Finally. Here you are.
But thanks to the scare troop, it all went down the drain. And that's another call to Mr. Duncan. And while that call was made, the kids are cleaning up the mess, like they said they would, and then they had to go home. And poor Casper felt so guilty that he couldn't stop Harry and company all night that he took all the blame on himself. And that's it for trick-or-treating. The kids and Casper all went home. Well, almost. Because Harry's Scary to the rescue! Yes, that's right. The one who led the scare troop is the one who's going to destroy them. First he was the instigator, and now he's the savior. That's right, he's the one who has fun the whole night. He gets to play tricks and scare everybody, and in the end, he also gets to trick-or-treat. I mean, look, Harry Scary is a 1,000-year-old ghost, so he knows what's what. But yeah, he saw that he made Casper sad, and so he decided that he's gonna square things with the kids and Casper. And the first step is to show his friends what Halloween is about. And interestingly, he already has a plan for that. Yes, he could have went to his friends and told them to not scare people anymore and just go trick-or-treating, because Casper was sad. And maybe they would have done just that. He's their leader after all. But no, he didn't do that, like at all. Because where's the fun in that? And they'll never know that it was Harry Scary who set them up. They'll literally think Harry Scary just went home.
Harry Scary, quit while the night is still young!
So, he's the good guy for Casper and friends, but not the bad guy for Winifred and company. A win-win for him. Now, for the plan to work, they needed the help of Mr. Duncan and the first angry lady. Like I said, the lady is reasonable and understands that it is not the kids' fault, but the scare troops. So, she helped them. She let them use her property to scare and play tricks on the scare troop, with Harry Scary unleashing the first trick.
This is for your own good.
And then the kids scared them as ghosts, like them. And the last trick did the rest. However, I don't know why they just ran. Weren't they having fun? Because they know that getting scared is a part of Halloween. Now that that's done, Harry and company have another mission. They are going to surprise Casper at his home, and together they are going to have a fun time trick-or-treating. And for that, the lady has bought costumes for everybody. That obviously includes Casper. He doesn't know that yet, because he's still sad at home. He thinks that it would have been better that he never joined the kids. Even though with them he felt like he was a real boy, and finally had brothers and sisters. But he's wrong, because when the kids were singing the Halloween song, we saw that the scared troop was watching them. And if Casper went home and never met the kids, Harry and company would have done the same things they did, except stopping Casper from trying to interfere. And then he would have been sad the whole night. But don't worry, because that didn't happen, he's not going to be sad for long. Because the surprise worked, and now Casper, Harry, Scary, and the kids Dirk, Luella, JR, Gervais, and Carmelita are all going to go trick-or-treating. Now he can finally feel like a real boy, like he said in the beginning, and he also finally got to have the family he always wanted.
So nice to have a family.
Something he's never mentioned in the whole special until the very end. You see, dreams can come true. Now, this special is called Casper's Halloween Special, but it also has another title. He ain't scary, he's our brother. I guess that's why they had to add Casper mentioning brothers and sisters and family at the end. Because if he didn't mention that, what's the point of the title then? You know, this special could also have went a totally different route. If Casper was like, I should do something I never do. Go out and scare people. Because Halloween is the one time in the year where people also like to get scared. Which you can also see in the kids' Halloween song. I mean, in the kids' song, they are literally saying,
Halloween is the most when you play like a ghost.
and then they dress up as a ghost and scare a dog in the window. But don't worry, the dog is just in their imagination. Or they would have had treats. So the dog didn't really get scared. So no harm done. So yeah, everybody knows that scaring somebody is a part of Halloween. Like going trick-or-treating. But like I said, Casper's just not about that life, He doesn't want to scare people, even on Halloween. And this special reflected that. Because in this special, everybody scared everybody, except for Casper. He stays true to himself throughout the whole night. Alright, now, this special may be called Casper's Halloween Special, which would mean he's the main character. But in actuality, it's really Harry Scary. Because he did everything he wanted. And then some. He scared people, what he loves to do, and then he became the hero, the one who saved Casper's and the kids' Halloween night. And all he had to do is take a stand against his friends. But like he said, it was for their own good. He had to show them the error of their ways. Without them even knowing, of course. Because if he would have talked to them, maybe they would have listened. Because he did lead them the whole night. And then they'd be like, alright, we won't scare anybody anymore tonight. But he couldn't do that, because then he couldn't scare them. And also be a hero to Casper and the kids. Now, in the special there are 2 Halloween songs, and I like them both. And was stuck in my head for a while. It was just the way Winifred said it in the Fright song, And with the kids' Halloween song, it was... I was like, what? Interesting. I never heard of that phrase before. Was really surprised by that one. You know what I also found interesting? Except for the platypus. There was a scene where Casper went back for his costume. And they used a melody that was nowhere else in the special. First it was like goofy little sounds, and then... That was an interesting choice. Wasn't expecting that. I guess they were like, we have this melody and we have to use it somehow. And so they were like, alright, let's Casper get his costume back, and while we're at it, let's just use this melody we have. Or somebody just really liked it and had to incorporate it somehow. For other people to also enjoy it. Anything is possible. Now, before this, I never watched this special before. And I must say, it was not bad. And it's a real shame that the voice actor for Dirk never voiced anybody anymore. I really liked his voice. I guess one and done was his motto for voice acting. And with that, we're also done. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time. See ya!